What made America exceptional wasn't its military power or economic might. It was its structure, our structure, a constitutional republic built on checks and balances. It was not designed for speed or efficiency. It was designed to restrain ambition, to correct abuses, and to protect liberty, even when we disagreed. And for a long time, off and on, it did work. It absorbed our conflicts and gave us a path forward, however imperfect. But we've been dismantling that system, and the consequences are no longer theoretical. They are global, personal, and potentially irreversible. Hello, everybody. Mike Beatonball here with Reviving Our Republic. And after 9/11, we had a chance to lead the world with clarity and restraint. The world stood with us. But instead of leading, we lashed out. We bombed first and asked questions later. We invaded Iraq, a country totally unconnected to the attacks, on false intelligence fueled by unchecked executive power and profiteering. We didn't just destroy buildings overseas. We destroyed trust, both abroad and at home. And from the rubble of that war came ISIS. And from the millions displaced came political unrest across Europe. Borders strained, identities fractured, and nationalism reborn. We told ourselves we were exporting freedom. But in reality, we were exported instability. And now that instability is coming home. Congress no longer deliberates. Presidents rule by executive order. Courts are politicized. Bureaucrats write the laws people never voted for. And the system that once channeled division into constructive reform is cracking under the weight of its own neglect. This did not start with Donald Trump, but his second term marks a dangerous climax. Executive power has become the weapon of choice. The Constitution, once revered as our covenant, is now treated like an obstacle to be bypassed. The saddest part? Millions of Americans have come to believe that this is progress. But here's what we forget. True patriotism isn't about dominating your enemy. It's about honoring your principles, especially when they're tested. That's why I often reflect on the example of John Adams, a revolutionary who deeply opposed British rule. But when British soldiers stood trial for the Boston Massacre, it was Adams who defended them. He knew that the rule of law must apply even to our enemies, or it means nothing at all. That same spirit lives in my own family history. My German ancestors, the Beatonballs, were loyalists on the losing side of the revolution. But they defended their beliefs with honor, and when the war ended, they pledged allegiance to the United States, and they were allowed to stay and keep their land. Because reconciliation, not vengeance, was the foundation of our republic. But unfortunately, today, that spirit is dying. We no longer debate, we demonize. And the demonization we once projected abroad has now become our native tongue. But as history shows, demonization only breeds more demons. This is not reform, what's happening now. It's retaliation. Not evolution, but erosion. Every time we sidestep the hard work of self-government in favor of rage or ideology, we edge closer to chaos. If we stay this course, we may be heading toward the most dangerous era since the lead up to World War II. Not just for America, but for the whole West and the globe.